Something that I noticed when I was in Senegal. I noticed this, and
I don't understand why Oshay Duke Jackson has done maybe 100 videos over the last month trying to dissect what Tariq Nasheed talks about, trying to defend Tariq Nasheed in the process while living in Africa. And he does that because he thinks that while living in Africa, a lot of people can believe what Tariq Nasheed says. What he's doing is supposed to be completely opposite of what iShowSpeed showed to the rest of Africa. He's going at this by telling his audience that I live here, so whatever I say is true, even though he's part of the propaganda, he's part of the CIA operation. And I don't understand why Yoweri Museveni's government has kept this guy in Uganda this long. Like, we need to show him the same Africa that he tells the world that we are. We need to show Oshay Duke Jackson the same Africa that he sells to people. Even though that is not true, we need to go back to that Africa and show him exactly what he tells people so that it becomes so untenable and uncomfortable for him to exist on the continent. Because we don't need people like that in Africa. We don't need them over there. See, we've had so many issues as a continent. The last thing we want is people like Oshay Duke Jackson in Africa. We don't want that shit over there, bro. Oshay Duke Jackson is garbage. He's a sex pat. He's a sex tourist. He has low self-esteem, no confidence whatsoever, and he's got no talent. All he has is YouTube. He quits. This is a serial quitter. He quit Sacramento for school. He quit Polish medical school. And the only thing that keeps him in Africa is sex. That's it. That's the only thing that keeps Oshay Duke Jackson in Africa. And on this year, I am willing to dedicate my entire channel to show Africans why we need to get Oshay Duke Jackson out of the continent. Like, I'll go miles, I'll spend any amount of money and even try to reach out directly to authorities in Uganda to get him the fuck out of Uganda, okay? We don't want this person over there. We don't want his opinions on Africa. He is causing so much damage to what it means to be an African, and we don't want such a person on the continent. He's worse than the same white folks you guys complain about, okay? I'll take all the white people in the world in Africa, but Oshay Duke Jackson.
I talked about this on Twitter. I asked, when I was over in Senegal, and I'm all over the place. I'm literally just going everywhere. I'm all over downtown Dakar, just and some of the little rural places here. I'm in a lot of Dakar is not that big, but I mean not Dakar, but Senegal is not that big of a country. It's not really that big. But I noticed something. I rarely saw elderly people.
This is something that is also
No, this is something everywhere. Shut the fuck up, Oshay. Have you been? See, this is the problem that I have sometimes with the black folk, okay? Even when they've traveled, some of them, not all of them, some of them lack an understanding of their surroundings and what is around them. Any major city globally, Shanghai, I've been to 54 of them. Shanghai, Beijing, London, Paris, Lisbon, Sub-Saharan Africa, Accra, Burkina Faso, Ouagadougou, Nairobi. Majority of metropolises and big cities are occupied, including New York City, is always occupied by younger people. It's fast paced, it's expensive. If you're on a fixed income, living in a city is too expensive. It's not a decent place to retire. And the same dynamics work for Africa too. Most people retire on the farm. Most people retire on what we call family homes. So these guys are trying to have a conversation about life expectancy. My dad lived till he was 72 years old. My mom is 73 years old this year. My grandma lived to about 100 plus years old. The presidents in most Africa, let's talk about Paul Biya, 93 years old. president of Cameroon, okay? Robert Mugabe, Nelson Mandela, all these guys hate some of them, late 80s, early 90s, Bishop Desmond Tutu. There's so many people in Africa that live past 100 plus years old. And they actually lived longer before all these guys came into contact with us.
Uganda, I think the average age for somebody in Uganda is like 16 to 17. Kenya's like the average age of 21, 22. So he's talking about no older people in Senegal. Let's continue.
I didn't see too many elderly people when I was in Dakar in the urban area. I didn't see one person over the age of like 6.
Yeah, you're an idiot. That's what it's supposed to be. In the hustle and bustle of a metropolis, older folks are not checking those places. Most Africa retires at 60. That is what these idiots don't understand. Okay? That is a better quality of life. In Africa, most African countries, the retirement age is 60. Most of them get a big package and they move on to their farms to live in the villages, or they live in what we call our community houses. Okay? Your children take care of you in Africa. We have what we call a sense of African communism. We don't rely on the government to give you a pension. You take care of your mom the same way your mom took care of you. So in my case, I'm my mom's pension. Me and my two other brothers, we are our mother's pension. We make sure that her house is fully built and furnished, and we send her an allowance every month that she can live off of. Between the three brothers, we make it work, and she's having a very decent retirement. And that is true for most Africans. That's what we all do. Okay. We don't rely on the government and the systems to give us that decent retirement. Your children will take care of you. There's nothing wrong with that. That's our system. But these idiots don't understand that, okay? Because they're so reliant on government that they have no idea that they are not seeing other people in the cities. They think they are not seeing them because they died off. No, they've not died off. They're living in the farms, in the villages, in their communities where you don't go to because you're only visiting for 3 or 4 days. You got no idea what it is.
Like 60, 65. Not one. I just didn't. I didn't. People thought I was exaggerating. No, I didn't see any person who could be like 60 or 65. Damn sure didn't see nobody 70 or 80. No, I didn't see him. In Senegal, yes. In Senegal. This is the thing. Okay, then I start talking to some people. I said, oh, okay. This is a thing.
But why is it a thing? We're going to find out.
I said, okay, most of the continent is full of kids.
Yes.
In Africa. Yeah. And it's like that really all over Africa, especially West Africa. Most of the continent is full of children. I just did not see too many elderly people. I did not see and that was strange to me. Because when I go places, I like to see and chop it up with the Black elders because I like to get game from them. I like to find some of the elders so I can sit down and chop it up with them. That's part of foundational Black American culture. We show respect to the elders. We chop it up with them and all of that. But the reality is, especially in Nigeria has the lowest life expectancy rate in the world.
Okay, so let's talk about that. So he's talking about Senegal. Then he moves the attention to Nigeria. If you know how life expectancy is calculated, they will look at, you got to consider the regions that have some turmoil and some fights and some wars. And they'll take those regions as part of the computation, which kind of drops the life expectancy rate in Nigeria. But here is what they don't want to talk about. And I'll show you something, because this is what we do here that they cannot do. All right. So this is what you're seeing on the screen is the life expectancy. I don't know if I can blow this up. All right, there we go. This is much better. All right. So what you're seeing on the screen here is the life expectancy of some countries in Africa. All right. Mauritius, 74 years old. Cape Verde, 74. Seychelles, 73. Sao Tome and Principe, 70. Rwanda. It starts to drop through into the 60s, but the first 25 countries have a life expectancy right about out to let's just be average, right about 64 years old. Okay, Tariq is talking about Nigeria here, which is 62 according to current data. He lied about it. It's a 50 something, but it's 62 years old. But look at this. This is what they don't talk about. The numbers you're seeing on my screen, if you look at what I so this in statistics, I like to always look at trends. Are they making progress? Are they doing worse off? A lot of the life expectancy for most African countries in the 80s was horrible because of HIV. Those numbers have come down significantly due to HIV drugs and therapeutics. Diseases like malaria that used to kill a lot of elderly people no longer kills elderly people. That has also been taken care of. Healthcare expansion has taken place across most of Sub-Saharan Africa. So the trend is in our favor. Is it better? No, but it's getting there. Especially when the diseases get more sophisticated, like cancers, there's a little bit more struggle. But luckily, unfortunately, we don't have a lot of those diseases because of our natural habitat and our foods not being poisoned with chemicals. We are kind of, we don't have a lot of those issues that the West does when it comes to certain diseases. So I expect our life expectancy trend to improve over time, and the data suggests that it is, and I will show it to you. So here we do everything with data. I will show you that I will talk about the trends. Life expectancy in Africa has shown a strong upward trend. So the life expectancy in Africa has shown a strong upward trend, increasing by nearly 10 years. That's huge. 10 years between 2000 and 2021. Within a 10-year span, the numbers have improved almost 10 years. All right, because if you don't have much and all of a sudden you start, investing into health initiatives, uh, you can correct much faster. This significant improvement is driven by better child survival rates, increased access to antiretroviral therapy for HIV, and improved malaria control. So these are the two main diseases that really plague Africa. HIV, which can really be controlled with PrEP and a few more interventions, condom use, good sexual hygiene, and malaria, which a lot of countries are starting to completely eradicate, right? Because it's only caused by a specific species of mosquitoes, which is the Anopheles mosquito. So Africa has an upside. They can get even a few more ages up on the life expectancy rate. Roughly, the average, all of it, if you even it out, it's about 64 years old. All right. And we're like, oh, this is so horrible. Well, since Tariq is talking about this, let's look at the same statistics for blacks in America. All right. It's decreasing. It decreased by 6 years for black men since 2014. Okay. It's going down. This is the most advanced country with the most advanced medical technology in all of the world. All right. With the best doctors from everywhere, including Tether doctors. All right. And if you look at the trend, it's going down. All right. It is going down. The average here for black men like the Tariqs is 66.7. It's only 2 points higher than their African counterparts. This is what I've been saying. These conversations are always like we are all at the bottom, but who is more at the bottom? This is all this is always about. It's not like who is trying to advance to the next and who is trying to do extraordinary things. These guys are picking on the Africans because they know that they can't do it with their own counterparts in their own country. You live in America. This is America. Why are you worried about the rates for other black people in the Caribbean and in Africa who have nothing to do with you? Acting as if yours is better, and it's not. And when I start to talk about it, like, oh no, he hates Black Americans. What am I going to compare this shit to? I have to make a comment. I got my own people to protect. Okay. Then these are the numbers. In his case, they're emotional and they're lying and they're talking about shit. In my case, I'm looking at the data and I'm like, geez, yours is not any better. And it should be better because you are in the most advanced country on the globe and your numbers look like shit. And they're going down. It's not like they're doing better, they're going down. So maybe you should look at home instead of worrying about those guys in the Senegal, because the numbers suggest that they are projected to have a better life expectancy rate than you. With all the cancers, with all the GMO in your food, with all the fertilizers and the crap they put in food here, with just the decline in food quality in America right now, and then add the mental issues, the drug issues that go on here that Africans don't have. It's only a matter of time, I think, in my projections about the next 5 years. Most countries, if you take out the war-torn countries of Sudan and Somalia, majority of the countries, I think the top 20 countries would do better than the US. If you look at my data points from here, currently, if you look at this currently, we're working with 66. Country number 15, which is Kenya, it's already at the same life expectancy as Black America. Kenya already is at country number 15. And Kenya has a damn upside because I've been to Nairobi and I know what they're doing over there. All right. You're not any better. If we put Black America as a country right now, you would be fighting for a position with Kenya, Ghana, and Gabon. All right. So Tariq, shut the fuck up. Oshay Duke Jackson, shut the fuck up. And this is us doing it with all our brain drain, with all our medical issues, with our slow pace of development. It's only gonna get better. Our numbers are gonna get better, but yours are not gonna get better at this pace with all the stuff that is happening to minorities in America. You don't really have much of an upside. So all I gotta say in this video is humble yourself. Humble yourself. You're not that great. All right, you're not. The numbers suggest that you're not. Okay, you're not. I don't care how you feel. The numbers suggest that you're not that great. Okay, it's just a race for the bottom. Who's gonna finish last is what you're worried about instead of who is gonna win. You're worried more about, hey, I'm number 8 and he's number 9. That's all I'm worried about. You're not thinking about being the first. That mindset really worries me. This is why you have these diaspora wars. It's a race for, hey, who is really not gonna drop to the bottom. That's all this is. It's not like, hey, we're doing this to advance some Black causes here in America. That's not what it is. That is far from it. You're at the bottom and you want somebody to be at the bottom with you. That's all this is about.